Hey, what's up guys, DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're doing a Blue Eyes Shining Dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited this week guys, because this is actually suggested to me by one of my patrons, Izzy. And this deck is an amazing deck that can summon out one of the most nostalgic monsters in the entire game, Blue Eyes Shining Dragon, which is a really amazing card to be able to summon to the field and base a deck around. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description in a single video, getting a signed card sent in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron, along with test stands. And definitely give Izzy some love down in the comments down below for suggesting such an awesome deck. So let's get straight on into this one, guys. So first off, we're going to be playing two copies of Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. This card is absolutely amazing, and it requires a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to be tributed to special summon this card to your field. It also gains 300 attack points for every dragon in the graveyard, which is a really awesome effect because this card can get absolutely massive. It also has the ability to negate card effects that specifically target this card, which is a really awesome effect that has built-in protection to protect this card. But this card is a really awesome boss monster. It's actually really easy to summon with all of the new Blue Eyes support that we got out of Battle of Chaos. We then play three copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon, which this card is going to be used to be able to summon out Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, so we can summon Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. We then play three copies of Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. This card is a really good card in the deck because it has the ability you can reveal a Blue Eyes in the hand to special summon this card once per turn, and this card becomes Blue Eyes White Dragon while in the field or in the graveyard. It also has the ability you can once per turn target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it, but this card can't attack the turn that you activate this effect. But that's a really good effect to be able to pop a card and also count as Blue Eyes White Dragon, so we can use it as a material to go in for Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. We then play just a single copy of Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon. This card is really good because it can search as polymerization, because it has the ability that if this card is special summoned, you can add a ritual spell or polymerization from your deck to your hand, and then during the end phase, you can add a level 8 or higher dragon monster from your deck to your hand. And you can also banish this card from the graveyard, and all level 8 or higher dragon monsters that you control gain 1,000 attack points. And you can only use the effects of this card once per turn, and you can only activate the effects while Blue Eyes White Dragon is on the field or in the graveyard, which it usually will be to activate this card's effect because we play so many Blue Eyes with the copies of Blue Eyes and Alternative White. We then play three copies of the White Stone of Legend. The White Stone of Legend is incredible in this deck because it has the ability that if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand, which is really good because we can search it so we can go in for Blue Eyes Ultimate. We then play two copies of the White Stone of Ancient. The White Stone of Ancient is just a 2-of to me because it's a little bit slower than the White Stone of Legend, but it's a really good 2-of in the deck because it has the ability that once per turn during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck. And you can banish this card from your graveyard and then target a Blue Eyes monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. And you can only use this effect of this card once per turn, but it's a really awesome 2-of in this build. I actually did consider playing it as a 3-of, but I wanted to bump the deck down to 40, so I ended up cutting this card down to 2. We then play three copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue. Sage with Eyes of Blue is a really good 3-of in the deck because it has the ability that when it's normal summon, you can add a light level 1 tuner monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card. It also has the ability you can discard this card and then target an effect monster that you control and send to the graveyard. And if you do, you get to special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck. And you can only use this effect of this card once per turn. But this card is a great 3-of because it can basically get you to a Blue Eyes extremely easily. We then play three copies of Dictator of D. This card is a really good 3-of because it has the ability that while you control a Blue Eyes monster, you can choose the attack targets for your opponent's attacks, which is a really good effect. You can only see each of the following effects of this card once per turn, and you can send a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and then you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can discard a Blue Eyes White Dragon or one card that mentions it to be able to target a Blue Eyes monster in your graveyard and special summon it. This card is pretty much Magician's Souls for Blue Eyes White Dragons. This card is a definite 3-of that helps us get Blue Eyes into the graveyard for ultimate fusion, and it can also bring Blue Eyes back, which is really, really good. We then play three copies of King of the Swamp. King of the Swamp is really good because it can substitute for any fusion material as long as it's listed on the card, which is really good. And you can also discard it from your hand to the graveyard to add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. This card is very key in the deck because it helps us go into one of our crazy powerful boss monsters that's in the extra deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Upstart Goblin because playing a 39 card deck is great, especially when we're trying to turbo out Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. We then play a single copy of Cards of Consonance. Cards of Consonance lets us discard one of the stones to be able to draw 2 cards, which is really good. We then play 3 copies of Ultimate Fusion. You want to see this card as soon as possible so you can go in for your copies of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, but this card is an absolutely insane fusion spell. It has the ability that during the main phase, you get to fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck that mentions a Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon as a material by shuffling the fusion materials listed on it from your hand, field, or graveyard into the deck. And then you can destroy face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragons used on the field as material. And you can only activate one of this card per turn, but it is a quick play spell, so we can use it during the opponent's turn to be able to disrupt the opponent and pop cards. But this card is really good because it can be able to put your Blue Eyes back into the deck to go in for your copy of Ultimate, or a really crazy boss monster that we use King of the Swamp to go into. We then play 3 copies of Polymerization. Polymerization is really good in the deck because it helps us fusion summon into our copy of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon so we can turbo out our copies of Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. We then play 3 copies of Bingo Machine Go. Bingo Machine Go is really good in this deck because it has the ability to reveal 3 cards from your deck that each meet at least one of the credentials listed below, and your opponent randomly picks one of them to add to your hand, and then you can shuffle the rest of them into the deck. And you can only activate 1 Bingo Machine Go per turn. Either a Blue Eyes monster or spell or trap that specifically lists Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, except another copy of this card. This card is really, really good and just a fantastic 3-of in the deck to be able to get out your Ultimate Fusion or your Blue Eyes White Dragons or alternative whites to your hand. We then play 3 copies of the Melody of Awakening Dragon. This card is a really good 3-of that can search Blue Eyes Shining Dragon, Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, and Blue Eyes White Dragon in the deck because it has the ability to discard a card and then add 2 dragons with 3,000 or more attack and 2,500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. So this card is great to be able to search out Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. We then play 3 copies of Trade-In because we have so many targets in the deck to be able to discard to the graveyard to be able to draw 2 cards, and it's really good to combo with Ultimate Fusion because you can set up the graveyard with this card to basically get a draw 2 for just activating this card because you want those Blue Eyes in the graveyard anyways for Ultimate Fusion, which is really, really awesome. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is a fantastic, super nostalgic boss monster that we're going to be using to tribute summon out our copy of Blue Eyes Shining Dragon, because you can just tribute this card and then special summon Blue Eyes Shining from your hand, which is really, really awesome. We then play a single copy of Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon. This card is a really crazy boss monster that has the ability, it takes 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons to summon this card, and your opponent can target or destroy this card with card effects, and then once per turn, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it, but if you use a Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon to summon this card, you can target 3 cards your opponent controls instead. And this card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect, which is the only downside of this card, but being able to pop 3 cards is totally fine. We're then playing a single copy of Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon because this card helps us go in for OTKs, because this card is absolutely insane because it has the ability to, at the end of the damage step, if this card is the only face-up card that you control and this fusion summoned card attacked, you can send a Blue Eyes Fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, and this card can attack again in a row. And you only see the effect of this card twice per turn. So you can attack up to 3 times, which is really cool. And then during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets a Blue Eyes monsters you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card, which is really, really good to have that added protection. We then play a single copy of Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon, which is just a really good card that you can actually summon out to the field without using Polymerization, just contacting 2 Blue Eyes together to summon out this card. It can attack twice, and any monster it battles and doesn't destroy, you can banish, which is pretty good. We then play a single copy of Dragon Master Knight. Now this is a card I was talking about, so you can actually use King of the Swamp plus your copy of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to summon to the field, because you can use Ultimate Fusion because you're using a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to fusion summon, which is really cool because this card has the ability that takes the gains 500 attack points for each face-up dragon monster you control except this card. So this card can get actually really big on the field, and using King of the Swamps to substitute out for Blackluster Soldier. We then play a single copy of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, which is just a really good card that you can use this card, tag it out, and then summon out 2 really powerful synchro monsters that you get to pick between. It can also has the ability that neither player can special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time, and then once per turn during either player's turn, when a card effect is activated in the graveyard, you can negate the activation, and then during either player's turn, you can tribute this synchro summon card to special summon a light dragon synchro monster from your extract in defense position, except another copy of this card, but destroy it during the end phase of this turn, which the targets to actually summon is Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, which is a really good card to be able to summon to the field because it can bring back normal monsters during the standby phase, which is really good because you can summon back your Blue Eyes White Dragons, and then a single copy of Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, which is also a really good card. I did consider changing this out for Stardust Spark Dragon to give me a little bit more protection for my copy of my Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. But this card is really good because it can deal with level 5 or higher monsters. We then play for the OTK a single copy of number 97, 1 copy of number 38, and 1 copy of number 100. These are basically here because you can make number 97, detach a material, and then summon both of these to the field, and then attach one to the other one as a material, which you're always going to summon out the copy of number 100 because number 100 can detach a material and then gain attack points equal to the times of ranks that are on the field times 1,000. So this card can go up to 9,000 attack points on summon, which is really big to OTK the opponent. We then play a single copy of Verte Anaconda, because Verte Anaconda works well with Ultimate Fusion and Polymerization. A single copy of Imduk, so we can turn Blue Eyes into an effect monster to go in for Verte Anaconda. And then finally, a Link Rebo, because we can link the stones away to summon this card to be able to protect our Blue Eyes Shining Dragon from being destroyed by battle by 1 battle by using Link Rebo, which is really good. And you can also combo with your stones to be able to get them in the graveyard for Link Rebo, which is really nice. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. It's a really awesome deck to play around with. You guys will definitely be seeing test hands of this deck on the channel. It's really fun to play and very crazy how easy it is to summon out cards like Dragon Master Knight to the field and be able to summon out any form of Blue Eyes Ultimate is just absolutely crazy. It's just such a fun deck to play with. If you guys have never played with Blue Eyes Shining, I highly recommend it because it's just a super fun card to summon. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.